Hey guys, so I just wanted to come on and do this video because I'm super proud that people are trying to now work for themselves, become entrepreneurs. But I also know that everybody does not have time to go to school or take classes. Therefore, they may lack like the mind frame to be business minded. So I have over 10 years in billing dispute experience, as well as in the fraud department, as well as I'm a consumer, and I know the things that people complain about or things that can negatively hurt your business starting out. So the purpose of this video is to just give you guys some game on starting your business. So stick around and I'll share those things. Now, the one thing about me as a consumer, and one thing I noticed as far as incoming claims that people are disputing, is that they're not getting their goods. And a lot of times as a business, maybe you're a one-person entity and you're doing everything. You're doing the promoting, you're doing the selling, you're doing the making of a product. Let me just give you a tip. I just purchased something from a company, and I won't share their name or whatever, but she set the proper expectations. I heard great reviews about her. I wanted to really try out her products, and she said it could take a couple weeks to receive the products because once she sells out of things, she has to go back and make more. So because she set me up with the proper expectations to know what to expect as far as the time frame, I was okay with that. You have businesses promising you, or most people think like, oh, it should take like no more than a week to get it. Yeah, in a perfect world that would be the thing, but you will get a dispute. People will file claims. People will trash you if you pay for something and you don't receive it. I think that unless it's something custom, it should not take months to get your products. Like, I'm just going to be honest. So the point of this is just to say, set your clientele up with the proper expectations. Because if that's the only thing bad about your business, you're still going to get promoted. You're still going to get heard about word of mouth from people that have done business with you, because you already let them know what it is. There's nothing worse than spending money on something that is not going to arrive in time and then having to have a plan B or go somewhere else and spend double the money now. So although we try to help, or we want to support other people and support small businesses and everything, sometimes it's just not in the plan. If it's not going to work with what you have going on, if it's not going to be a part of your vision, you just have to consider that as well. And customers, don't be afraid to consult with the merchant to see if you need to order something and you need it for a certain time because you have a birthday party or a bridal shower or whatever you have coming up, and you want to make sure that you get it in a certain time. Make sure that that merchant is able to fulfill it within that time. Otherwise, you're going to be upset. You're going to waste money on things that is not going to arrive in time. And again, that's something that could be avoided on your part, as well as keeping a merchant reviews positive, because you both communicated that you wanted to work with one another or team up on a project, and now you realize based on time restraints that's not possible. So just keep that in mind, because a lot of businesses that are open up, they may have another job that funds the business that they're opening or they're investing in. There's already not that much time in the day. Some things are possible, but maybe other people have other obligations, and this is just one aspect of what else they do. So maybe they are able to fulfill the order, maybe they're not, but that's something that you should be asking in advance, especially if you're looking forward to having something by a certain time. Another thing is, a lot of companies that are just starting off, you don't sleep. Like, you're growing tirelessly to try to respond to texts, messages, just based on, again, people trying to support you. Set a time frame. Again, communicate the expectations that people can expect to hear from you, so that they know that they're not being ignored. Also, if you're going to have a business, think about why you're doing it. Are you doing it to pay your rent, your car payment, something like that? Because then the hustle's not the same. Like, I've tried to do business with someone that I grew up with or whatever, and I will reach out, and mind you, I'm not asking for no discount. I'm just genuinely trying to support. And it's like, if you don't have so many followers, like, this is just what people think. Like, every customer counts. Do you think these people that have businesses that have over 100K on social network or whatever, do you think they're really looking like, oh, they only have 3 followers, I'm not going to do business with them? No, they're not looking at that, because at the end of the day, that $5 is that $5. There's no difference in the money. So stop looking at the followers or whatever. Like, if you're going to have a business, be ready to do business, period. I've had other people, knowing that I knew this person, reach out to me saying, hey, they're not responding. I'm trying to order this. I'm trying to order that. If you sell out, that's fine. Just communicate that information so that people know, oh, they got to be in advance. Like, social media is great because it's free marketing. But now they even added notifications. So if you genuinely want to try something or buy something to support people, now you can cut on your notifications to let you know when they're up and running. But people do not like to feel like they have to harass you in order to do business with you. Like, nowadays, every market is heavily saturated. You got people that sell hair, you got people that do nails, you got people that do hair, you got logos and things of that nature. People can go anywhere. You get what I'm saying? And people will go anywhere. So if you want people to go to you, where I have worked for almost 16 years now, one thing that was stamped into our mind was, think of yourself as a customer. Things like that will turn you away. Like, if you're not being communicated, just think about it. You can get a credit card from anywhere. Everybody has a credit card, but are you going to get the same interest rate? Like, it's different reasons as to why you may get one credit card over the other. Now, if you don't have good credit and you don't have a choice but to get one that's a secure card, then that's one thing. But as a consumer, you have options. And this is what businesses need to think about. Businesses think that, oh, you need me. But as a business, you need customers too. Because if customers are not spending money in your organization, how are you going to be up and running for any amount of time? Like, seriously, think about it. And now, I will admit that I may not always have time to shout out good things or good experiences, but I'm not the only one. There are way more people, and I guarantee you, that will post something, a negative experience, more so than they would a positive experience. So again, this is just something that I'm putting out there as a consumer, as someone that has worked in this field for so long. I know what people are looking for, what turns people away. And it doesn't matter if you leave that business and start another, that's still in the back of people's mind that they were ignored, they never received the services, they never got a response. Those are things that people don't want to deal with, especially when they have other options. Now, this next tip is for businesses as well as consumers. Try to stay away from cash apping or Zelling or transferring money to businesses. And I'm going to tell you why. Because once those funds are sent and you're doing things out of good faith, there's really not any protection that you have. Like, there's not really things that you can go behind and dispute those means on. Prime example, if I did business with somebody months ago and I still haven't received my items, I haven't heard anything, and I transfer them the money, what is there to say what I order? Where's the invoice showing what I order? Unless you have someone that's going to provide you with that information, you're pretty much at a loss. There are ways to protect the merchant as well. So merchants will have the opportunity. You are protected if you use like a credit card, even PayPal, to make your transaction, because it's going to show up on your statement that you did business with that merchant. Meanwhile, you're protected if you have a credit card purchase. Same thing goes with money. Like, it's really hard to dispute that or to claim something as fraud when it comes to money, because there's nothing behind that. Like, we can't, who's going to be your advocate to try to get your money back? Like, we don't need people trying to commit crimes because they were wrongfully told one thing and never received anything. But when you have a credit card, if you don't receive the merchandise or the service, or it arrives damaged, or it's not as described, you order something and it was not what you thought it was going to be based on the description that the merchant gave you, you have rights. Like, you're able to dispute that stuff. Don't wait till the last minute. You're also going to have to try to rectify the situation with the merchant. But if the merchant's not willing to do that, then you have dispute rights. And as a merchant, you have the opportunity to say, to rebuttal whatever the customer's claiming at that time. So these are, again, things that I see happen. And a lot of businesses get overwhelmed. One bad apple doesn't spoil the bunch, but you want to prevent hundreds of bad apples from growing on your tree. Like anything, once a seed is planted, it's going to take a while to grow. It's going to take a while for you to perfect your business, learn what works and what doesn't work. If you find yourself losing business, conduct a survey. See what customers liked about it and disliked about it. I guarantee these things that I'm telling you are going to be like at the top of the list as to why people are no longer patronizing with you. You want repeat customers. Like, once you've done business and they like it, they're going to come back. Like, they're from a consumer standpoint. If possible, try to eliminate a middleman. Like, I get that if you are trying to reach out and you know somebody that knows that person and they're able to get in contact with them, sometimes that's okay, other times it's not. Because, prime example, I'm a very hands-on person. I like to be involved. Like, I just have like a creative mind. I'll give you a prime example. My daughter's birthday party one year was a glamping theme. I knew what kind of cake I wanted, but I knew I wanted several different elements from the cake. So because I'm so particular about those things, I wanted a tent on the cake, but I wanted a certain kind of tent. I wanted like different tiers and things of that nature. Nobody's going to be able to give that vision but you. Now, if you have a business that is creating something custom. Now, if my cake would have come back in a way that I did not want it to, it's going to be one or two reasons. Either the creator did not follow directions, or I wasn't very clear on what I was looking for. But either way, that's something that I would have to take responsibility for, because if I'm going to somebody, that means that I'm trusting your ability that you're going to be able to do what I need you to do. And number two, if you're not able to do what a customer wants, don't just take on that job just to get a bag. Like, don't do that at all, because they're trusting your ability. Like, they're believing that you can do something, and a lot of people are promising things that they cannot do. Like, and it's okay with saying, no, I can't do this, but this is something that I can do. And maybe they don't go with you for that time, but because you were honest, find out who your market is. Don't expect to open what you want to be a world-class restaurant in a low-poverty area. Like, you can't expect people that don't have the income for day-to-day things to be able to spend $50 on an entree. So just do your research, know what you're looking at. And it doesn't take that much time. So even without a degree, or even without going to school or class to learn about operating a business, it's pretty easy to know what's going to click and what's going to attract to certain people. And it's not always the ones that's closest to you that are going to be cheering or rooting on your business, and that's fine. Like, you see memes all the time that your loudest supporters are going to be people you don't even know. And that's with any business, just make sure you can deliver. It's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be long nights. It's going to be times you want to give up. It's going to be times you want to quit. But the biggest part of it is just making sure that you're able to deliver what you're offering. It's also important for businesses to stay consistent. So consumers like when they know when you're going to be open, when you're going to do a sale. If you're going to shy away from something that you've been doing all along, just communicate that. Let the customers know. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting repeat questions like, oh, well, what happened to that? Or why are you not doing that? Again, make customers feel like they're a part of your business, that they're appreciated for doing business with your company or your organization. Just remain consistent. Remain consistent. Like, if it's going to be a pop-up shop, call it a pop-up shop. If you plan on doing a long-term business, make sure that you are communicating your hours of operation, when you can respond. Just set those proper expectations. It sounds cliche, but after trying to do business with people on social network, trying to support people that I've known for some years, common sense is not always common. So even though it sounds cliche or that you would expect people to know, these are areas that people are going wrong with. And I get it. Like, a lot of times people get so excited and gung-ho on the fact that they're doing a business that these are not typical things that they think about. But again, put yourself in the shoes of a consumer and think about what you would want if you were the customer. And that will get you far. That's the God honest truth. And I'm just going to leave it there and try to get some homework done and wash his hair. But thank you for tuning in and for listening. I'm also going to be uploading a video on planning a girls trip. This will be, I want to say, my 5th one. And I'll give you tips that will work for a getaway destination out of the country as well as one within the States. I've had a number of trips now to where it's been 2 people going down to a larger crowd. So I'm going to give some tips, because one of the things that puts me at ease after being a mom full time, after going to school, as well as working full time, is looking forward to a vacation. So I'm going to teach you guys how to plan that with your girlfriends, with your spouse, with your kids, and just to be able to have a good time. So